afternoon, YTPC. Und guten Tag zu alle meine deutschsprachige Zuschauer für dieses Video. This video will be a little bit bilingual because a couple of different messages to different audiences. But as you've noticed, I have tried to always now put subtitles with the choice of English or German in the captions option, upper right on your screen. Just tap there and suddenly that captions menu will appear and you can choose German or English subtitles translated by Google. I think it's getting better than it was, and is, I suppose, remarkably good, the translation, but sometimes there will be a mistranslation there. You just have to accept it. I don't have time to manually type in a translation of every video, but it also means for those who are hard of hearing that you get these captions as well, either in German or English, which I think to some of our community might be helpful. Well, this morning, this is the Canadian Savinelli that I bought from Smoking Pipe, 6mm, new, beautiful. It's got there's this red ring here, like the Roma editions of Savinelli, and I'm going to try and finish my tin long opened here and twice rehydrated of Baby's Bottom 1938, but I have no problems with it. It smokes nicely every time. Even if rehydrated, with this moderate sweetness of the Virginia and the beautiful English mixture taste behind that. Absolutely a spectacularly good blend, and I think the Peterson one, everyone says, is as good, probably made by the Scandinavian Tobacco Group. And in the last years of Dunhill, they were doing it anyway, so I'm not surprised that the Peterson editions now coming out of the Dunhill blends are almost identical. Even the great Bradley, when he tried his beloved Elizabethan blend, which he loves and adores, said he couldn't see the difference. It's exactly the same as the one he remembered. So that's good news that some of these Dunhill blends are still going forward. Got a little bit of classical radio music here. I'm pleased to see that they still keep the FM channels 1 or 2 going, and you know, otherwise you can not listen to the radio without it being digital radio these days, but there's a few channels still broadcasting on the old system. Well, just a bit of a chat today, because it's one of, you know, those days that start good. You know, you drop your piece of toast in the morning and it lands butter side up, you know, and you think it's all going to be okay today. And it's just signals you get. Well, today just everything was going against me, you know, how it is sometimes. Got a warning that I didn't pay a bill, and I thought, I'm sure I paid that bill. Actually, it was for this little heater down here, that one, and I paid that months ago. And I went into my bank account and I found it, and I photographed that entry, and I called them up and I said, what was going on with your booking? And they say, oh well, you know, it must have got lost somewhere, or you didn't put the order number on the payment. And I always do. So I've sent it off to them, but many a time they probably send these double billings out and figure people are just not going to have the time to check. You know, for $80 I'll check. But if it's a small amount of money or something, and I really hate that. They may have to, of course. Then today everyone says when something doesn't work, they say, oh, it's COVID, you know. And you think, well, what's COVID got to do with it? Is it, oh well, you've got people off, you know, don't have people in the bookkeeping. But it's all electronic, it's all in computers today. Scan in, scan out. Machines do the processing. So everybody today is it's because of COVID, you know, or the post didn't deliver your check. Well, we don't pay in checks in Europe since 20 years. It's all, you do it on e-banking, and you know, and you sit there spending maybe an hour and a half, because then I couldn't send the email out because there was a block. You can't send your email, check your settings on the path. And I've had this problem with my pad and my Wi-Fi sporadically, and my provider, Swisscom, says, well, just start your router again, it'll be alright. I think, well, why do I have to keep doing that? And that doesn't always work. You know how it is, you get into one problem, you're trying to solve it, another problem stops you moving forward with that, you know. Thank God I'm a pipe smoker, because you can get to your refuge and chill out a bit with a nice pipe, and you know. Whew. And I came back from Christmas vacation. So before I left, I loaded the trees up with bags of nuts and things that the birds could eat, and came back and there were all these empty little plastic bags everywhere. Cleared them all off. I bought a whole ton of bird seed, the things you hang, and some seed to put in the little feeder on 2 trees in my garden. Filled it all up, and no birds showed up. Well, actually yesterday there was a couple of sparrows and a blue tit. I thought, have they all flown south, you know? But usually they don't all fly south, do they? I think they got upset that I had abandoned them over Christmas and found another garden to feed in. Well, we'll see if they return. Well, in the mountains it's snowing like crazy, and in the lower lands where we are here it's cold rain, a little bit of sleet, and it's pelting down at the moment. You probably hear it. Very pleased with my old shed, which is totally watertight, which is great. It's a little bit warmer today, maybe 5 or 6 degrees plus. And you really notice the difference, you know, just between that and -5, it's dramatic, you know, in terms of comfort. So I'm very cozy here in my little shed. Watched some great videos. Tillerman did a clever one where he basically gave 5 categories of what particular tobacco you like in that category, and there were more occasions rather than the type of tobacco, and some of the responses have been most interesting. I'd have to actually really think hard, and I'd struggle a bit because I've got a lot of tobaccos I still haven't tried, and there's a lot that I like, you know, for many occasions, so not easy to say it would be this one. And then good old Mel came along, Garbage Man Piper, with the idea of what about if you also said what pipe you would take with that tobacco, then one would really have to take me probably 3 days to try and work it out, and even then I would say, yeah, it could be this one, it could be that one. Good question. But I think that is how tobaccos are, really, aren't they? It's what occasion or how you feel and your mood a little bit. You know, you look over all your tins. And you could take one of any dozen, you know. If something zeroes you in, it's that for today, this situation, your mood, what your tongue wants to have, this one, you know. I'm definitely going to try and make a mini series about English blends, because coming back to good old BB 1938, I realise, and I do like them. Actually, very few tobaccos I don't like. I only struggle if they are very prone to tongue bite, tending to be Virginias, but not necessarily. And also if they're too strong in nick. Those are the major barriers for me. Otherwise, in terms of aromatic or English blend or crossover or Balkan, I've tried a few. I haven't explored a lot in those directions, but I've liked, you know, everything's been good upwards, so I'm sure I'm going to like it. I like Northwoods as an English blend. It's a little bit, some people say maybe it's a bit more like a American blend or a crossover of some kind, but Northwoods I think is absolutely brilliant. Oswald's. I rearranged my shelf of tobacco to make a bit more room, but I'm literally running out of shelf space, and so just a little footage of my State of the Nation tobacco shelves here in the cellar. I've added this entire shelf to my collection, which goes about 3 jars or 3 tins deep. So you see all the jarred up tobaccos. I've tried to keep the jars on one level and the tins on another. That's number 3 shelf, number 4 shelf, and number 5 shelf, and down the bottom number 6 shelf, almost all full. And then here's the what was the overflow. That's maybe a tin and a half deep. It's a much smaller shelf. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 levels there. As I've said many a time, you know, I've got enough really. I should really slow down dramatically. I have ordered a few more that are coming in, and then I think will be the great pause of tobacco acquisition, and my interest will be to try to really work through those that I've got, because I suppose I've only smoked, of all the ones I've got, not more than half. maybe even less than that I've actually tried once. You know, I have researched them all and bought them on a fairly sound basis, and so far I've almost only one or two tins out of the I don't know how many I've got, but I must have a couple of hundred or something. I haven't, there's only one or two that I really thought that was a mistake, you know. Anyway, won't go on because I'm just rambling, you know. And just to the last message that I want to give out to my German viewers. So für alle meine deutschsprachige Zuschauer, hätte eine wunderschöne Überraschung. Vor kurzem ein Paket von Renato Baumann. Da war so nett, etwas weiter zu leiten. Und es waren die zwei Dinge, die Sie sehen hier im Foto. So, eine war ein schöner Paket Biscuits von Schaffhausen, eine Spezialität, und die waren absolut lecker. Die Hälfte habe ich schon gegessen. Und das andere war ein Kaffeetasse von 3 Thedwood, unser Ed, sehr bekannt in deutschsprachigem Raum in YouTube. Und eine schöne Abbildung von einer von seinen Bildern, die er gemahlen hat, selbst gemahlen hat. Von den Dschungelkämpfer Vietnam-Stil, weil er natürlich fasziniert ist von alles militärisch. Und das finde ich fantastisch. Das werde ich dann meine Kaffee nächstes Mal hier in meinem Shed genießen mit dieser Kaffeetasse. Einen großen Dank an Renato und Ed. Merci vielmals. And with that, I'll close this little video and wish you all a lovely Tuesday. I hope the weather is better than ours where you are. And keep safe, take care, stay warm, and enjoy your pipes. Cheers everyone, bye bye.